A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We once again warmly welcome you to A to Y, another episode bringing discussion on entrepreneurship, technology, digital marketing, and many more. How are you, Aziz?
I'm doing good, Yasas. Yasas, you know what? Actually, I want to share two things with you. Number
Okay.
one, I don't see you.
You
I
can't
don't
see
know.
me?
There's something wrong with the camera. I can't see you.
Oh, give me a
Yeah,
second. This happened once also, right?
yes.
Let me go off cam and connect again.
Cool. All right.
Do you
I
see me now?
think no, still the same, Yasas. Still the same.
Oh dear.
I don't see you. Yeah, not a
Actually, there
problem. I
was
think
some technical glitch. It took a while for the broadcast to also start. So, but you can hear me, right?
yes, you are audible. Probably the audience can see me today. Maybe
Yeah,
you can talk.
maybe
Maybe
the audio.
maybe they can see. Maybe audience can see me. Maybe you can talk today. Right?
So, what do
Yes,
you
sir,
see? An empty screen?
no, it's completely blank. It's completely blank.
Can you see yourself?
I can see myself. Yes.
So, what's on the left to you?
Now I can see you.
Okay,
Right.
great. So
So
we are back. So, what's the
now I
second
can
thing?
see. Second thing is it's the 20th episode.
Yeah. Do we have
Congratulations.
a clap sound option over here? Let me see. No, we don't. But we'll clap ourselves. 20
Yeah.
episodes, not easy, right?
20th.
20 weeks every Thursday at 6:30 in Sri Lankan time and
Yes.
5 o'clock Gulf Standard Time. Not easy.
Not easy, but the best part is the consistency and continuous activity will help us to grow, right? I mean, when we started this journey, we just wanted to share knowledge, and in fact, the best part is even after we started sharing this amazing knowledge tips. There's a lot of sales also we also gained, and there's a lot of customers actually connected because of this program. I mean, it's wonderful.
Azi, don't give away too much.
My bad. You know when I started talking, right? Sometimes things.
I'm just kidding. Our whole objective of A2I is to be open, share whatever we gain, share the knowledge we have so that everyone can benefit it. The more people grow, the better it is, right? And we don't generally hold things behind, so we are okay to go ahead.
Yeah, no Guru Mustia, everything is completely out 100%. And whatever we are sharing, it's our experience and our knowledge. And if you disagree, please do. And we are not saying we are 100% right, but what we do, what we share is what we do. And what we are doing is actually giving us results, produce us results. So that's why we want
Definitely.
to share.
And it keeps us going. So we have to give a big thank you to all of those who tune in, who watch our uh, A2Y series, whether it's on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. We've been having a consistent level of viewers, not mass audience, but a very niche audience, and that's good because we get feedback. And Adi, I think good opportunity for us to also mention about digital strategist workshop that we'll be doing in a week's
Yeah,
time. It's a
correct.
very limited series workshop where it's going to be hands-on. You'll be trained on. Obviously, you need to have some marketing background. There is a pre-assessment, but if you are qualified, if you are able to be part of it, you will basically learn the Hash 33 framework of doing a digital marketing plan. So there are probably about 3 more seats available. So if anybody is interested, please inbox us and we can guide you. So that also started as part of A2I, right? It was it was brought through A2I because we were sharing knowledge. There were some who reached out and said, "Hey, can you do something specific to us?" And it took us a while, so sorry for taking some time, but we'll be doing it next week. We're actually doing 2 workshops, one on a Friday and one on Sunday. So let us know which one you're interested in. I think Friday one is almost full. Sunday one, we probably have some availability. Okay, so today's topic, Kazi, I think you spent a bit of time. It's a
Correct.
continuation of last week's discussion, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So last week, what we did was we talked about aligning your team to your company's positioning, because we felt as entrepreneurs, this is one of, not even entrepreneurs, even enterprise companies sometimes have this issue where it's very difficult to align your team with your company's vision, your company's positioning, what you need, how you want to see the company in the eyes of your consumer and the general audience needs to be seen from your team as well. So that's the whole topic, and let me quickly browse through what we discussed last time. So we talked about what is positioning, and we
Yes,
ended
yes.
at this slide.
Sorry to interrupt. I don't know. It's the error is from my end. I actually don't see the slides.
Oh,
Nevertheless, we'll just continue. Probably we can shift the cameras. Yeah.
yeah, seems like something is not working well in our platform. Do you still not see the slides?
No, no slides. It's just a dark background. However, we just continue. I mean, these things happens when we do online stuff, right? I mean, it's live.
Exactly.
It's live.
Exactly. Exactly. So if you don't see the slides, we're very sorry. For some reason, I can see it, or maybe in the stream. If anybody is out there, just message us and let us know whether you can see it. And yeah, so we talked about. I'll quickly browse through it, Azi, since if the slides are not there, I'll just keep it on us. We
Yeah.
talked about few aspects. We talked about how important it is to have unique selling propositions and skills aligned with your business, how to focus on your target audience, and how to think about your vision and goals, and finally how it's important to evolve and adapt as you go on, because you need to always have that continuous growth, continuous evolution, uh, continuous change, and you need to adapt, and the team needs to also follow that kind of mentality. So with that, let me run into the next slide. I hope at one point you'll be seeing this. Let me, yeah, I don't know whether you could see it, but if you remember, we had these two axes, and we had we positioned the company where we want to be, right? But if you look at it, there's a different position where we are at the moment. So between where you are and where you want to be, there is a gap, right? And that gap is what we need to fulfill, and that gap is not only how you do your advertising campaign, your branding, or whatever. It's also how you represent your organization, because your employees, as we said last week, is a direct representation of your product, your service, your company. If your employees don't live the same values, if they don't position themselves with the same values, same beliefs of your organization, then there's going to be a mismatch. And what happens sadly is a very interesting slide. I think, Azi, you had probably added this. Um, this is about how the leadership needs to be also aligned with the values. So it's like, employees being handled by as puppets, or key being kept with the leadership and the employee on your hands. So you have the key, or sometimes dragging your employees away or to what they should be doing. So this is what the slide describes. If you can't see it, I tried to explain it in the best possible way, so it's more visual to you. What we try to say here is, Asi, correct me if I'm wrong, is most of the time the leadership is the bottleneck. Leadership is not supporting, empowering the organization to live the vision of the organization. In brand material, in advertising, in all type of communication, the company says one thing, but when it comes to handling the employees, looking after your team, it's something else. So if you are saying one thing and if you are not representing it in your organization, because all of us know when you talk of customers, there are two types of customers. You have your internal customers and you have your external customers. Internal customers are your own team, people who are working with you. It could be close stakeholders, it could be employees, right? And external customers are, of course, the consumers and customers who endorse your products and services. You need to align both parties with your same vision, same positioning, same mindset of your brand. Because as a leader, if you don't do that, if you treat your organization, your team in a different way than how you talk about, example, companies are very big about talking about sustainability, diversity, gender equality, and all sorts of buzzwords which happening in the industry today. But if you are not living that internal in the organization, if it's just on the posters of your organization wall, or if it's just a HR or marketing gimmick, your organization is never going to be that. Because, example, if you take Sri Lankan culture as an example, we meet up with friends, ex-employees meet, internal employees meet up. We meet up at funerals, we meet up at weddings, we meet up at the Bana and Dana sessions, right? What do? People start talking, especially in our mindset, in our culture. There's so much of talking, and it happens behind the doors. So if or outside your doors, rather, if it's happening that way, and your employees are talking about your organization or talking something different to what your brand is, it's going to be a problem. For example, we as consultants, sometimes with our customers, we endorse their products.
Yes.
I remember we were handling a particular pizza brand at one time, and I used to tell our team, let's not consume the competitor's pizza, because if we are talking and building this brand, we should endorse that. We can't be talking about the competitor pizza. And trust me, Aziz, this I can talk about it because no, we're not talking about the particular brand. But
Yeah.
I remember one particular brand manager of that organization newly joined, and I asked, like, how long have you been consuming this product? And that person said, look, oh no, I use this particular pizza. I've never tried this. And that person was talking about a competitor pizza. And I was like, okay, somebody missed out asking this question at the interview.
Yeah.
Right? Because if your employees, if your team is not believing in your brand, then they're never going to talk good about it. They're not going to represent your brand. And positioning is all about that, Asi. If you don't live the hash 33 values, if you don't believe in hash 33's value statement, Asi, you will never talk good about it. You're not going to position the organization in the right way. Same with us. This is exactly why if we are not happy about something, we need to move out and we need to change the game, right? We need to, change our approach. So leadership plays a big role, Azi, and this is what actually this slide is talking about. Now, let's talk about how do we overcome these gaps, because obviously all organizations have gaps, especially when you go for a repositioning, when you go for a rebranding. We know organizations do that. They have massive campaigns, mega budgets to reposition, but sometimes they forget to use branding internal. They forget to inform. I've been in situations where customers don't know about new products. We are advertising, we are doing plans, but when you meet employees and you say, oh, it's great to hear that you guys are going to do this, internal employees don't even know about it. So these are gaps. So you need to address these kind of gaps. You need to identify these gaps and solve them in. Always, anything that happens new in your organization should be communicated to the team first. If you leave them out, they don't believe that they belong in the organization. I must say, as an entrepreneur, I made this mistake myself, because the leadership team sometimes discuss things and we don't do it purposefully. We don't communicate it at the right time to the employees, and when we realize it, it's long and gone. So I remember in a particular organization I worked, we made it a process. We made it a mandatory thing that internal communication sign off is a must. Without that, you will not move on. That's actually what we have as point 4. So point 2 is build the skill gaps. Example, if you are going to talk about your company being best of the industry's customer service, and if you don't train your customer service team, if you don't train your call center, if you don't train your front line, you're not going to live that value. You're not going to live that positioning that you're talking about, because marketing gurus, branding gurus will come and talk about all the jazz. But if you don't take that and live it, build the relevant skills that you're talking about with your team, then there's going to be a problem. Same way, use visual aids, use branding, use internal communication. You need to consistently remind your employees of your positioning, what your company stands for, what your services are supposed to be, what are your values. Example, your notebooks. At Hash33, we do this. We even give it to our customers. We have our values, we have our positioning in our notebook. So every time you open your book to write notes, you cannot not say that you don't know it. At the organization onboarding of your employees, at the orientation, you need to talk about it. You need to consistently remind. You need to have the right processes and systems in place.
Yeah.
Uh, Anything you want to add on that, Asif?
One thing that I want to add, Yasas, I would say I disagree in one part of what you're saying. It's not the right process, in my personal opinion. I would say it's the process. Maybe that process
Evolving
will be
process.
right. Yeah, evolving process. Yeah, if that process can be right at that particular moment, maybe it will change in future. So
Okay.
the process should evolve. Otherwise, what's going to happen is all of us, I mean, you and I, we have experienced this, that we stick into one silo, we stick into one process, and we are not willing to open up to even change these processes. It happens to our employees, it happens to leadership. So that's why the constant evaluation and review must have. We believe it should happen every month. That evaluation every month and do little changes. So
Every opportunity,
that's
right? Every time you have a mistake, every time there's something that goes wrong, have a post-mortem, go in and have a review and see whether your process needs an update. So thanks, Asif, for correcting me there. So it's not the right process, it's the current process. That's what I meant. So you need to find out what your current process is, document it, have the right systems. For an example, systems like Notion, we've adopted it, and it's a massive return on investment for us, because today we live on Notion all the time, right? Anytime we have a process, we put it in the document, we share it with the team. It's a page on its own, and then you have AI, like Notion AI in that, which will help you write the processes and put things in place. You can basically document and have a better communication. I know organizations, as they used to have intranets back in the days. Today, I think the concept of intranet, SharePoint portals have disappeared. But you can use simple tools, SaaS tools like Notion or any other tool out there, which can processify and can communicate internally to your organization what your current processes are. And that is very important, because your processes, your skills, your USPs are what will position your organization. It's not only the marketing branding. Being marketing professionals, being sales professionals, we know our branding matters. That's why even on a shirt we have #33. We use our branding colors. We use this background, the virtual screen, and all that. But it doesn't matter if, example, we are talking about creating magic, and what we mean creating magic is we create the seemingly impossible for our clients, right? That's what we have over there. But if you don't live up to that, it doesn't make anything in your organization, right? If you don't seemingly create the impossible things from #33 to our clients, then you're not living up to that. We talk about, example, if we take our values, we talk about happiness, we talk about attitude that's positive, we talk about simplicity, we talk about again the last H, which is honesty, right?
Honesty.
That's what H stands for. Honesty, attitude that's positive, simplicity, and the last H is happiness. If we don't live up to that, if we are not honest ourselves internally, if we are not honest to our customers, we are not positioning ourselves right. If we are not being simple, down to earth, right, egoistic and big headed, you are not living, and that matters in your employee positioning. One thing we look at when we always recruit is whether the new recruits are simple minded, whether they are down to earth, because it's sometimes important to get the right hires rather than trying to inculcate new values into them, because you need to have people with like-minded, with right values. So look at your organization. How do you really establish this for you to kind of move forward? So I think, Azli, with that we can really wrap up our points, because
Yes.
we were talking about how we are aligning. We are the 20th minute, 20th episode, 20th minute. So anything you want to cover up, anything I missed out, anything you want to add in?
Just one point. I'll be quick, Yasa. So remember, leaders. I mean, if you are a leader in an organization, you are not always right. You have to, rather, you must have the attitude of listening to your employees as well, because sometimes their idea might bring you the results that you desire. So that's the only point that I wanted to add, Yasas.
Super. Thank you very much, Asi. So I think we've touched an important point today. Talk about it, agree, disagree, comment, send us messages. Let us know what you think about the organization alignment with your organization positioning, how it should be, what should be done, and we are happy to correct ourselves and add and improve and share. So with that, we can end today's episode of A to Y, and let's meet again for the 21st episode next week, Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Sri Lanka time, 5 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. Signing off, I'm Yasas.
And I'm Asi. Good luck.
See you.